Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us once again for another episode of Way of the Warrior. My name is Trevor Martin, and I am the founder of RMF Coaching. And as many of you know who have turned in, and if you haven't, I'll explain it real quick right here. Way of the Warrior came about when I was going through coaching and I started talking to these individuals about some of the things that they were experiencing in life. And I thought to myself, now hold on a second. People need to hear this story. People need to hear about what you went through. That got my wheels kind of spinning. I thought, there's so many stories. I want to create a platform, I want to create an avenue where people can talk to an audience and say, hey, look, this is some of the things I had to overcome to get to where I'm right now. Here's what I've done to be successful. So I started going out and I created the avenue, the way of the warrior, and I started going out and finding badass warriors on social media, right? And talking to them and saying, hey, how did you get from there to here, right? How many giants did you have to slay along the way, and things like that. So it just so happens that I have another warrior with me today. Shadey, thank you so much for joining and for being with us here today.
Thank you for having me, Trevor. I'm excited.
I am excited as well. What's funny about this is you and I have tried several different times to make the dates work, and finally it's happening. And I'm excited because I've been able to watch you on social media, watch your platform grow, your delivery just blows my mind, and the passion at which you deliver your message is like second to none. So I'm really, really excited to have the opportunity to be able to speak with you today about that. And one of the things I'm going to ask is, can you take us back? Let's rewind a little bit. Let's kind of take some steps back. Have you always been this driven? Have you always been this way? Kind of walk us through what got you from there to here.
So, have I always been driven? I do not think so. I think starting here, and then going back, becoming a full-time entrepreneur, that's when my drive fully kicked in. And I get that from my parents. So
Well, I
it
love
took
that.
a lot of struggle, um, within me building my brand, my business. It helped me build more character. It helped me get stronger mentally and
Hmm.
emotionally. Um, so how far would you like me to go back?
You go back. This is your story. You take us back. You take us wherever you want to go. This is all you.
So I will say that I've always been athletic. I've always been athletic. My parents had me in every sport imaginable, ballet, soccer, tennis. I ran cross country in high school and whatnot. So, um, my de- hi,
Little surprise. One second. No,
that's
hey,
such a cute surprise.
say hi, everybody. All right, hand you off to mom. No, you're okay. Hi, yeah. All right, okay, back to you.
I'm sorry, that was my fault.
No, no, you're good. You're good.
So, my degree is in behavior health science. I was going to go back and get my master's, um, because I was working with children with autism. Long story short, the CEO of my company needed help in the HR department. I went to the HR department. The HR director was retiring, and I had already been there for 2 years. So they just handed me that position. So I literally fell into that role.
Wow.
So I did that for 8 years.
Okay.
Um, and in that time, I started to personal train. Then I went to school and got my certification. And then I got my certification in nutrition. So it was starting to be a challenge for me to be in a role of leadership and run my business. And I
Right
kept
on.
telling myself that, okay, I was going to walk away eventually. Um, and different things just kept happening. Like, I'm not a slacker by any means, but I was struggling. with that role and trying to have balance with my business. So finally, I prayed on it. I think I fasted and prayed on this for almost a year before I
Wow.
actually walked away from my job, my corporate job. So I had a little bit of savings, but within, and I haven't heard this much, but for me, it was like within 4 months of me walking away from my job, all my savings just they were gone because everything that could have happened, imaginable, like anything that you could have thought of, it happened to me. So now I really didn't have a safety net. So I had to start hustling like really. So I was doing like odd jobs at that point to keep my business afloat. And I enrolled in a mentorship for online coaching, and that helped me a lot. They helped me structure my business.
Good.
Um, so from there, I went from in person coaching to online. I still do in person, but I also do online coaching as well, which that was something I wanted to do anyway because I wanted to reach more women across the country. And um, by God's grace, I'm able to even reach women in other countries with online coaching.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So I want to ask a couple things here. I'm very interested like in the warrior mentality of people. And by all intents and purposes, I mean you're a true warrior. Let's go back to the point where you were looking at your savings and you're like, well, this is all these things are, I just pulled the trigger on this and I'm ready to go. And now these things are happening to me. Now these things are going and my savings is depleted. What did you do when you have those moments of what is going on? Why is this happening now? Are you kidding me? What is going on? What did you do to rally the mind and get steady again?
It may seem redundant, but I prayed and I asked God to lead and guide me. Um, and in all transparency, when I left my job, I didn't tell my parents. I know I'm a fully grown woman, but I did not tell my parents. I told my brothers, um, and they supported me wholeheartedly. So um, there was a time one of my brothers called me and he was like, "What's going on? How's business? This and that." And I just broke down and started crying.
Yeah,
And he's like, "Well, what do you need?" And I didn't want to say, but he helped me out
yeah,
financially, and he also helped me come up with a plan um, within my business to help me. So I feel as an entrepreneur, you need support.
preach. Yeah,
Everyone does not have that luxury to have a family like I do that we're close and we don't look for outside help. If we can't help ourselves, we seek out each other. And I know everyone is not like that, but I know for sure as an entrepreneur, you need support. You need support.
absolutely, 100%. There's so many things here that I love about what you just said. One of them, or probably the one that sticks out to me, is where you said, "Hey, I might be getting redundant here, but I prayed." Like you said, "Hey, like I fasted for almost a year, and I prayed for almost a year before making the decision to pull the trigger and actually, launch the damn thing, right?"
Yes.
So it doesn't surprise me that you would go back to that. So hold on, I'm having some times of trouble, right? I'm having some times of well, not necessarily doubt, but well, I'm sure there was probably some doubt, like, oh man, did I make the right decision? Like all of this is happening right now. So you go back in those uncertain times and you pray and you talk to God, and you're like, hey, look, this is what's going on. I'm looking for some guidance. I need some help here. I find it I find it for me, it's hard to understand sometimes where you're coming from. And I've talked about this before on some of my other episodes with individuals that are religious. I was raised in an extremely religious home. Um, and there were certain things that happened in my life that I started to question, is God real? Right? Is this just some made up shit? And what I find reassuring about the faith is that there are individuals like you that do believe so passionately and so wholeheartedly in it. And you can see it in how you speak about it and in how you carry yourself and how you represent yourself. Now, don't get me wrong. We know that there's some people that say that they walk the faith and they're just not good representations of faith, but that's everywhere. So I appreciate, for somebody that struggles with their faith, seeing an individual and being able to talk to an individual that's like, look, I needed to make a big decision in my life. So I went to where I believed I had support. I went to my faith. And then the second thing that stands out about you is now I went to my inner circle, which is my family, and they had my back, right? Brother says, hey, look, how's it going? Sis, how's business? And you're like, well, shit, right? And then, hey, here it is. And the family's job, and this is what we, my mind's behind me in the picture. This is what we talk about here. Our job, you come through those doors, our job, I got you. I have you. Talk to me about your day. Talk to me about your wins, your struggles, all of that. Because I'm here for you. I want you to succeed. I want you to get better. And when we fail, we're going to fail together. Let's talk about it. How do we work through that failure? And how do I pick you back up? I love the fact that you can go to I'm smiling. I can't wait to I'm talking to my wife Jamie, like, hey, she was talking about, I'm a full grown woman. I was like, I want to tell my parents, right? Like totally get that. I'm sorry, you what? You quit your job? I'm sorry, you quit a sure thing. You quit a sure thing. Like you had insurance and everything. You're like, nah, I think I'm gonna go this way, right? Because if you think about that generation, right? You want, like, that's what you did. You had a sure thing. You had the 9 to 5. You made the income, lather, rinse, repeat, right? So somebody coming and saying, "Hey, I pulled the plug on that. I'm actually just going to launch a business." Thoughts? They're going to be like, "Does not compute."
Yes, yes. Um, and on top of that, my parents, I'm Nigerian. So it's like either you're going to be a doctor, an engineer. We already have an engineer. One of my brothers is an engineer. So it just would have been more pressure on me. So from a logical standpoint, I said I
Yeah,
will and let my work speak for itself when I initially tell them, you know?
I love that. I love that. Okay, so that's a perfect segue. Let's talk about, I'm going to let my work speak for itself. You have your own app, right? Your own app. Are you okay with, can we talk about that a little bit?
Absolutely.
All right, you go. Talk away.
Okay.
I'm excited because I want to know about it.
I launched my fitness app. It's coming up on a year now. It actually took 9 months to get everything together. So within my app, it's offered on the Google Play Store and the Apple Store, excuse me. And you download it, it's for free. But I have different plans in there for women. And all my plans include a meal plan, journaling, and meditation. And I
That's
also,
amazing.
thank you. And I also have specialty programs in there for women who are going through menopause and women who have PCOS,
Oh,
which is
wow.
polycystic ovary syndrome for people who may not know.
I didn't know that. So thank you for that. Can I ask what led you to add those things?
So maybe it's 3 years ago, another coach referred a woman to me that was going through menopause. And I knew nothing about it because even now I'm still not at that stage, but she wanted to work with me. So through a lot of trial and error, and make a long story short, um, I was able to figure out and assist her with losing weight because you gain a lot of weight with menopause. So
Okay.
I I did a lot of reading, a lot of studying, trying to figure out what works best. It's not a one-stop shop. It's not,
Yeah.
so she started referring other women to me that had menopause, and it went from there. And so then I added PCOS because one of my cousins was training with me and she had PCOS. Same thing. I had to do a lot of reading, research, um, and she was telling me things that she was experiencing. So
That's
that's
awesome. I like how one of the things we talk about, right, in any business is the ability to pivot and adapt, right? And so you saw a need, there's a need there. You're like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna meet this need. I'm gonna adapt what I do to fulfill that need on both accounts. Right. And obviously on one side, there's that personal level with being a family member. Let me ask this. If you look at yourself, and then we'll talk about what you're wanting to do, for the future.
Mhm.
When you look at, when I'm on social media, or not specifically LinkedIn, and I'm looking and and your stuff, your drops pop up, I'm like, that stands out. Whether it's you're out in some elegant attire talking about physical fitness, talking about nutrition, whether it's your workout videos, like, hey, this is what you need to focus on, here's what you need to do, let me break it down for you. Consistency and discipline are key, all of those things. What would you say in your mind sets you apart from the rest of the crowd? What makes you unique?
Oh, wow. For one thing, I feel like over sexualizing yourself, I cannot do. I don't speak on other coaches for that or, influencers. That's not me. Um, I feel morals and integrity. I have to have that because I have younger women looking up towards me. And I know from experience, if you put yourself out there in a sexual type manner, the things that can happen to a young woman.
Hmm.
Um, So I'm always intentional and mindful about what I put on social media. If I do have a swimsuit on, I just make sure my backside is not showing. Like it may seem like a lot, but I don't want women in general thinking that that's all we have to offer. Because even though we're in 2025, women still feel like some women feel like all we have to offer is our body, and that's not true.
See, that's when I think of Jamie, when I think of my wife, she would say the exact same thing that you just said, like hands down. And when I think of my daughters looking up to somebody, that's what I want them to hear, right? At, at, all the time. That's what I want them. That's what I want them to hear. I love that, like the moral factor, the ethical factor, the integrity, all of that. I talked a little bit about like on LinkedIn, just the everybody just starting to become, but not just on LinkedIn, just the in social media in general. I mean, it's the same stuff. It's regurgitated information, and now you got AI getting in there, and you just say like, "Hey, ChatGPT, can you make me a post?" And I want it to be about working out. Click go, 30 seconds, boom, it's on. Not even 30 seconds, and there you go, and you go on about your day. But it's the same. Nothing grabs you anymore. So you want that those that what am I trying to say? The information that you're trying to deliver, you want that to grab people with that
Yes.
authenticity. And to your point, what you're seeing a lot of today is some of that same stuff. So being able to differentiate yourself from the crowd is key. It's important, right? It's what that makes you stand out, and that's what people are going to gravitate towards what you offer. Plus that badass app, that too, that too. So take us, Shanae, take us to the future. What's the future look like for you? Like, what do you want this? What do you want? Where do you see yourself in a couple years with all of this? Is it still this? Is it something else? What do you have in mind?
Well, I plan to lean more also, or in addition to speaking more to corporations about health and wellness and go
Ooh,
deeper into um, health, fitness with women over 40, and as I mentioned before, menopause and PCOS, because a lot of women out there are struggling with this. Um, so that's one thing, and I just want to grow my app even more to reach more women.
I love that outreach, right?
Yes.
Grabbing more individuals to kind of join the movement, join what you're doing. Um, Man, I just had a question in my head and it went away. Oh, I know what it was. So talking about you talked about the struggle where you're like, oh, they want the savings. If you could give, can I put you on the spot here? If you could give other entrepreneurs any piece of advice when they're launching, what would it be?
When they're launching, I would say build that support system for one. For two,
Hmm.
it's okay to take odd jobs
Yeah.
to keep money coming in. There's no shame in it because at the end of the day, um, you need money to make money. You have to
Yep.
spend money to make money. So, um, those are two pieces of advice. And also, walk in your own authority. Listen to your inner voice no matter what. Don't let anyone tell you that you cannot do anything. You can do whatever you set your mind to. You may doubt yourself, you may, but you have to push through that. You have to ask God to help you. Whoever your God is asking to help you, push you through.
I appreciate what you just said there. Whoever your God is, ask
I've
them to help you
decided
push through. So as we're sitting here talking, my mind's just kind of moving along here. Question: Do you have? So you were talking about being like a role model. Like I know you're talking about menopausal women over 40, but
to.
you're also talking about being a role model to the younger crowd, right? Like they're seeing me, and I want to represent. I want to represent properly, or how I feel I should represent, right? Do you have, are there several individuals that you work with that, that are up and comers, that are youth, that are aspiring to kind of be what you do or be what you are?
Do they don't necessarily want to get into health and fitness, wellness, but they do want to go down the road of entrepreneurship. Um, yes, so and just in life in general,
Yeah,
they gravitate towards me. So
I love that. And I think that I think there's probably several reasons why they gravitate, where they gravitate towards you. I think that, you know, the more positive role models that we can have out there for our youth, for the younger generation, the better. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, completely blunt here, the world's a shithole, and there's just not a lot of that out there. It's few and far between, and that's sad.
mhm.
And go ahead.
I'm sorry, in a minute and run.
No,
I
no, you
just
go.
I just feel like we need to let our youth know it's okay to be you. I'm an introvert by nature, like I'm quiet by nature. So I always tell women who are like me, it's okay to be that way. Your people are going to find you. You know, your the right man is going to find you with you just being you. You don't have to be um the promiscuous. You don't have to have your body shown. You don't have to do all, just be you. It's okay. It's okay to be quiet. It's okay to sit in the house on the weekends. It's okay to do these things. That's normal.
Yeah. It's absolutely, I mean, hey, you were made that way, right? It's absolutely okay to it's okay to be that way. I would tell you, you talk about sitting in that it's sitting in the house on the weekends. One of my favorite things to do is sit still and draw. Put on my music and start sketching. And the peace that that brings, I mean that's it's priceless. It's priceless. Well,
I
Shade,
feel
as we wrap this up, audience, first of all, obviously you know that you need this badass on your roster. Where can they find you? What social media platforms are you on?
so. Because we talked about LinkedIn and we met on
Hmm.
LinkedIn, so I'm on LinkedIn. My name is Shadey, Shadey. My last name is Liadi, Liadi. On LinkedIn, on Instagram, it's Nigerian Workout Dow. It's all one word. And then on Facebook, I'm also on Facebook, Shadey Liadi again. And I'm on TikTok, the Nigerian Workout Dow. I think I
Hell
covered
yeah. Okay, real quick, what's your favorite platform?
LinkedIn. I would have to say LinkedIn. Yeah.
Yeah, that's mine too. I'm only on LinkedIn and Insta, but those are my well, YouTube, sorry. I'm there too, but
I'm going to
obviously
get to YouTube. I'm working on
yeah,
YouTube.
it's I love YouTube. It's a lot of fun. Well, everybody listen. So you heard where she's at. Go find her and get on her roster. Support her, right? Engage in those conversations, and you're going to learn one hell of a lot about this badass. And Sade, I gotta tell you, thank you very much for being on the show. I love the conversations, and obviously definitely interested in having more in the future. Um, I'm excited. I was excited to learn more about the app, and I'm definitely excited to see you continue to grow. Right as this, as you further your mission, as you further your cause, and like from the bottom of my heart, especially when I think about my family and my kids, thank you for being who you are, and just thank you for being a good person, like that people can look up to, that people can aspire to be,
Thank
excuse me. Yeah,
Thank you.
you're
I appreciate
welcome.
that. That means a lot,
You're
especially coming
welcome.
from a man with daughters. So that
Mm.
means a lot.
Well, here's the thing too. I know we're going to wrap it up, but I'm just going to kind of go off on a little tangent right here. Um, I haven't always I haven't always been a good person. I haven't always been kind. I wasted a lot of years being quite the asshole. And I'm 44 years old, and some of my best years are in my 40s. That's only 4 years, right? Right. Well, see, so like, and so when I mean this, when I say like I want to be the best possible role model for my kids. I do. I want to be the best dad. I want to be the best husband, right? I want to be the best father figure. Now, I know I have my faults, but if I can surround myself, I believe, right, that I need to have those type of people sitting at my table that I surround myself with. So if I can meet and I can interact with people like you, who I would want to be influencing, especially my daughters, that's a win-win, right? Because that makes me better as well. So thank you for being you.
Thank you. And
No
we
problem.
appreciate you.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. That means a lot. And as you know, I will continue to support you on social media, and especially LinkedIn. And I love watching what you're doing, and I can't wait to see it grow.
Thank you, Trevor. Thank
You're
you so
welcome.
much.
All right, ladies and gents, we're out of here. Everybody have a good evening, and we'll see you next time. Hey, make sure that you connect with Sade and hit that subscribe button. Leave us feedback on this. All right, we're out. We'll see you next time.